At the beginning of the movie, we are reminded of the Red Ribbon Army that was defeated by Son Goku. Previously, these troops developed a special weapon from Dr. Garo with the name Android. After all was destroyed, the son of the Red Commander named Magenta continued his father's struggle with his father's inheritance money. Time passed, but Dr. Garo continued to develop his android in secret. He turned himself into an android, which in the end he was killed by his own androids named Android 17 and 18. And not only that, Goku and his friends also have to fight and defeat Cell, which is the ultimate weapon created by Dr. Garo. Red Tape Troop, which is now in decline, changing its name to Red Pharmaceuticals. And they finally saw a glimmer of light to help them revive the organization. Magenta's commander discovers the track record of Dr. Garo's grandson, the more genius Dr. Hito. With the help of Dr. Hito, Magenta is excited again to take revenge. The scene shifts to an insect that is on the roof of a car. Then out of the car a man named Carmen. He entered a building to meet the Magenta commander to hand over the data on Dr. Garo's grandson. After analyzing the data and looking at the photos, Magenta ordered Carmen to bring Dr. Hito before him. But there Carmen explained, Magenta had to wait for 3 months first, because Dr. Hito is currently serving a prison term for being involved in the case of theft of bodies, where he modified the corpse into a simple android, and asked them to work in a shop. Then Dr. Hito got money from them. 3 months later, Dr. Hito was released from custody. At that time Carmen and Magenta went straight to him and persuaded him to join the Red Ribbon Army. Before Magenta introduced himself, apparently Dr. Hito already knew their identity. Because while in detention, he spied on Carmen and Magenta through his artificial bee named Hachimaru. After Magenta lured Dr. Hito with delicious food and drinks, Dr. Hito finally agreed to join. Actually here Dr. Hito hates the actions of his grandfather, Dr. Garo, as well as the Red Tape Army's ambition to dominate the world. So he created Android Superhero, because he is a big fan of superheroes. If Red Pharmaceutical still adheres to the notion of red tape soldiers, then the superheroes created by Dr. Hito will certainly attack them. Here Magenta tells Dr. Hito that Capsule Corporation, or the company owned by Bulma, is evil. They want to take over the world with the help of their alien forces. The aliens in question are Goku and his friends, because they have powers beyond normal humans in general. Then the scene switches, where Piccolo is training Pan how to use her ki to fly. But Pan, who is only 3 years old, certainly has not been able to stabilize her ki. Break time has ended. Pan now has to go back to her school. In the afternoon, Videl contacted Piccolo, who was meditating. She asked Piccolo to pick up Pan home from school, because Gohan and Videl had busy things they couldn't leave, and she was going to give a doll as a gift to Piccolo, so it required Piccolo to do it. Shortly after, Piccolo came to Gohan's house. He scolded Gohan for being so busy he couldn't pick up his own child. He also asked Gohan to practice more often to prepare himself in case of an emergency. After that, Piccolo returned to the mountain to train again. But suddenly, he was attacked by someone from a distance. And Piccolo immediately recognized that the man was a member of the Red Ribbon. He knew it from the mark on his arm. The man is also an android, because Piccolo can't sense his ki. Then the fight ensues. After shooting Piccolo, the man immediately left the place, because he thought that Piccolo had been shot dead. Whereas there, Piccolo was actually not hit by a shot because he had teleported. Secretly, Piccolo followed him from behind to find out their base and destination. After arriving at the Red Ribbon headquarters, he disguised himself by wearing a Red Ribbon Army uniform, then entered a room where there were Doctors Hito, Gamma 1 and 2, Carmen and Magenta, who were planning something. They are preparing the most powerful android named Cellmax with the DNA of the former cells and amplifying it. But Dr. Hito created it half-heartedly, because he had enough with Gamma 1 and 2 to defeat Bulma and her friends. Because the power of Cellmax is very dangerous for the survival of the Earth and can destroy the Earth itself, so he does not want that to happen. But Magenta keeps forcing him to finish the project as soon as possible.